Planet-Size Gaming here, and I thought I'd shed my thoughts on the game of service thing and how Sea of Thieves is just going about it the wrong way. Now, honestly, games of service sucks, but it looks like the companies are headed that way. So, if the future is indeed going to be having these games as a service, let's just try to tell the companies what they should do to, not piss the fans off and piss off the player base and actually bring out games that are worth buying and that are worth $60 because Sea of Thieves is not worth $60. Not if it doesn't have a whole bunch of content. Honestly, if the game's fun to play, it's it's fun to play. But that doesn't mean that it's worth $60. Now, you could say if you bought Game Pass, then you wouldn't be paying $60. Okay, that's a good point, but what if Sony makes a game like this and it doesn't have a lot of content? There's no Game Pass. What are you gonna do then? You're gonna let Sony get away with it? What if Nintendo does the same thing? They can't get away with it. That's what I'm saying. If Microsoft gets away with this, then more people are going to look at Microsoft and they're going to be like, "Oh, hey, look this Microsoft. If they can do it, we can do it." And then you're just going to get a whole bunch of games that are released that are not going to have a lot of content. So, I'm going to tell just three things that they could do to actually, help and actually bring the game to its full potential while still giving content in return after launch. First off, they have to be upfront and tell us what your game is going to have at launch and a little bit down the line. Now, you don't have to tell the full release schedule of your content, but at least give us a little bit and tell us what we can expect. Don't do any sneaking tactics like the devs of Destiny did, where they kept doing things week after week, and every single time after that week they would remove it and then replace it with something else. That's just some kind of sneaking tactic. Tell us if you're going to make any microtransactions. Tell us the things that could very well piss off your entire player base before you do it, so you know if you should do it or not. Just do that and you should be fine. Second, launch your game with content. Now, this is where Sea of Thieves comes in, of course, because it hardly has content. Now, you can very well have fun when there's hardly no content with the mechanics that are in the game, but that doesn't mean that you're going to stay in the game. Okay, that you're not the only one who plays this game. A lot of people play MMOs and MMO Lights because it has content, but this game does not have a lot of content. It has a couple missions, very little customization, something that Sea of Thieves depends on, and that's just not gonna cut it. They need to add a lot more things. I don't know what, maybe some more mission variety, more customization, maybe raids, instances, something that will keep the players invested in the game. If you're going to bring content down the line, make sure you launch the game with content that'll keep the players busy until said content comes. Third, make sure the content is actually worth the price you're asking for, unless it's free in case of other type of game services that they do. But if it's not free and you're asking for a price, don't half-ass the content. Make it well thought out and above all fun to play. Time and time again, DLC has been less than stellar. Look at Destiny's first DLC. That was not worth the price, and honestly, it wasn't even worth playing. And then you look at Division, and that's free DLC, and that's definitely worth playing. It came out around the same time too, and if the Division can get back up on its feet and get in the graces of the players for doing the right things, then I think Destiny could honestly do that too. Now, can they do it? Can they actually achieve that? Maybe, maybe not. But it is possible if you do the right things and you do right by the players that you promised in the beginning for the game that you were talking about. Now, of course, there are other actions that can be taken to make this games of service actually better and good for the industry and games at the same time. I mean, not games, gamers, and at gamers at the same time. But if the industry wants to go as this game service thing, and you can't be like Sea of Thieves asking $60 for like a early access or a $20, $10 game. You can't do that. So when you bring these game of service out games and you announce that it's going to be games as a service, then fill it with content when it's launched. Don't make it like Sea of Thieves. Don't make it like Destiny. Do right by your players, and they will do right by you by buying your game. Alright, that's it for this video. This was kind of like my first video of doing something like that. I mean, doing something like this, so it was kind of a little, honestly, off the fly and kind of not half-assed, but just putting out my thoughts into videos. So if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. I'll probably do more videos like this, maybe thoughts on other things. I know E3 is coming around, so I'll probably give thoughts on what's coming out of E3 and all that kind of stuff. So if you like to follow people who talk about games and talk about gaming news that comes out, hit that subscribe button and you'll see some more content from me.